All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, because Mangler seems to really enjoy doing reaction videos more than anything else, he ended up finding a How Strong is Virgil video. This video came out around let me see right here. This video is on the channel Thunder God, which probably explains the Thor picture. And this came out November 10th. So this is last year, but for the most part should be. I mean, it's just nothing really. Well, actually. SE was already out by this point, right? Or was just the Xbox One X version out?
Yes. Well, maybe. I don't actually remember SE's release date because I didn't purchase it on the new gen console. I purchased the DLC on current gen console.
Well, either
So
way, the point I'd be making here is that this person might be missing the SE information for sure.
it's not gonna matter.
It's like, no, don't worry.
Also, hey guys, I just like providing some content sometimes, and reaction videos are a great way to catch other people's like perspective. In this case, especially since we're not like watching like an episode of something, we're just watching like a scripted video of someone's thoughts. So,
Even if it's unscripted, this should still be their thoughts regardless.
oh yes.
You know, I was the master of unscripted videos. All
As
right.
the one above all, I do concur.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started here now. Again, this is a 6-minute video. It's probably got way better editing than me. I'm already seeing some good editing here, so we'll see how it goes.
Got here today.
So can you hear it or no?
Yes.
We're
Disclaimer,
talking
his
about
quality will be superior to ours.
I am I. Here's the thing, like the whole thing about editing videos is like, and I know I'm getting on the topic here, but like I tried that for a while, and there's just no point to editing videos. There's really not, especially unless you're making money off them. There's really no point to doing it.
how strong Vergil is, and this video was inspired because the special edition, Vergil edition of Devil May Cry 5 was released, and I thought, what better time to talk about my favorite son of Sparta? So, with that being said, let's get right
He
into
is a
how
little
strong
quiet.
Vergil is.
Here, let me hide it a little bit.
Now, starting off, pretty much the best way to determine how strong Vergil actually
It's better.
is directly off Dante, as they're generally seen rivaling each other. Although there are some external factors we'll talk about present in DMC5 and even DMC3. So starting off, we actually do know Vergil is stronger than Mundus, even in Devil May Cry 3. Now, this might sound a little
Character what?
I'm sorry, can you go, I'm trying to like adjust your volume so I can adjust his volume.
Well, he just got done saying that
He's
even in DMC3, Virgil was stronger than Mundus.
I mean, wait, is he bringing up the scan to show that? Because that's true, though it depends on which Mundus we're talking
I
about.
mean, it's
Because
only true
there's
for the weakened Mundus. I'm assuming he's referencing DMC1 Mundus here.
yeah, that's definitely wrong then.
Here, let me see what he goes into here.
weird, but we do know that Vergil is actually extremely fatigued, and even Jester notes this, actually fondling the Sons of Sparta, noting that if they were at peak shape, they would have slaughtered him. And we do know that Vergil would have defeated Mundus because we find out in the canon novel Devil May Cry Before the Nightmare that Mundus himself admits he most likely would have not been able to defeat.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah, no, never mind. Okay, so
so I
good.
gotta
He was
say
here.
now, the novel you can find online. This is just a summary of the chapter. This isn't even a direct quote or anything. I'm just gonna throw that one out there. The editing is good. The editing is absolutely good, but
Yeah, this is the summary. The actual like the fan English translation does more or less say the same thing,
wait, hang on,
just a little bit sloppier.
hang on.
The Son of Sparta, if not for his fatigued state. From here, we can actually use Mundus as some.
Wait, is he gonna ignore the as Mundus has not yet been fully revived?
Maybe.
Is he gonna ignore that entire line right there?
We shall see. It's been a while since I've seen this video, so it's like I'm watching it for new.
Okay, so to be clear, by the events of DMC5, Virgil would be vastly stronger than DMC1 Mundus. To be clear, but
And Prime. And Void.
and
Sorry.
Prime. But DMC3 Virgil is not equal to DMC1 Mundus or Prime Mundus, since apparently those are not two
Or
different things.
Void Mundus. There are many Munduses.
Just gonna keep dropping Munduses.
And if Virgil being stronger than Mundus seems somehow consistent to you, just keep in mind actually in
Okay, I gotta say this now. If you're, like, for the inconsistent thing, like, again, his editing is good. Keep that up for another second or two. Like, it won't kill your video.
his final confrontation with Dante, he prominently uses Force Edge, not the Yamato. So you could actually imply he was using not all of his strength due to him using a different weapon.
I think he gets that one from you.
So not using all of his strength and not being as effective, I define as like two different things. Because like, here's the thing about Yamato. Yamato's main utility is it's like the power that you grasp from the abilities that it gets. Yeah, you can just swing it like a blunt object and just pour demonic energy into it if that's what you want to do. But like, again, the reason he uses the Force Edge is just mainly like personal reasons in that final battle.
Vergil shouldn't be any less powerful using the Force Edge. You can just argue that he's not used to the Force Edge as much as to Yamato, so he would be making mistakes.
I'm asking. I'm certainly saying that just like if he's not asking Yamato to grant him power, then it's not going to be any different power-wise than the Force Edge. It's just going to negate your durability.
This guy's editing. I will say that this guy's editing is top tier.
Just for some consistency here. Now, where people place Mundus is extremely contentious, to say the least. There's a big debate over if Mundus himself is universal level, whether you base it off the fact that he's creating a pocket universe, a mini universe. People compare it to a pocket dimension in his fight with Dante in DMC 1. However, we do actually have statements from the creator of DMC, Hideki Kamiya, who actually does state that there are stars and constellations in the background of the universe that Mundus and Dante fight in which Mundus does create these stars and constellations.
So right off the bat, that's wrong. This is not Kamiya's answer. This is the Kamiya's answer. I mean, like, overall, his statement's not wrong, but, like, just to clarify, well, anyone on this channel knows what
so close.
This.
He was so close.
This is the answer.
It's right there.
Not this.
Yeah, no, this is. What's on the right side is the question. When Kamiya retweets somebody, he'll tweet their answer if it's not a question that's been like repeated. And then he'll put his answer.
According to Cyber, some people have made the claim this is a loaded question, but I would disagree with that notion simply because of the fact that, well, an ordinary person would assume those are stars in the background to begin with.
If it was a loaded question, then Kamiya would have asked for further clarification.
He would actually put more clarification in there. We've seen him do that before.
Or counterpoint, he wouldn't have retweeted the same question from another answer, because he does do that with another tweet where someone asks the same thing. No. Someone asked him about what Mundus did, and he retweeted them to this answer as well. So if you want to argue that he didn't mean universe, you're gonna have to find a better argument, or just stop arguing it and start being honest with yourself.
This is further supported by the fact Mundus actually has statements talking about him taking over the universe itself.
Correct. Completely correct. Good. It's good so far. Is it 100% accurate? No, but I've seen far worse. So if he at least says Universal DMC, he's already on. He's okay.
This is pretty good. Better than I remember. Maybe I was looking at a different video when I said this.
This would be universal in strength, with Dante slapping him around and then also slapping Argosax, someone stated to be somewhat of a rival in strength to Mundus.
That is not Argosax. That is a spare embodied. Why does everyone keep fucking Why does everyone keep fucking this one up?
Because
the boss names are different. They even have two different profiles in the fucking game.
I think in this case I can grant him some leeway room because it is confirmed to be his true form. Because that is what Argosax was supposed to look like initially.
No, again, I do disagree with that notion, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that behind the scenes. Or for the kids to see the
that's not a notion. That's what the guidebooks confirm.
No, because I went back to the character. I went back to the character profiles in the game, and in the game it's confirmed that the one that ruled over the demon world and conquered almost all of it was the Blob.
Yes, yes, because he no, he
Yes.
never fought. They never fought each other. They only
Yes.
had their own
No,
territory.
but the point is that he was waging war with Mundus essentially, and before Nightmare.
Yeah, they were fighting. They were
to
fighting
conquer
each
the demon
other
world.
through.
So
Yeah,
it would
but
be the Blob that fought him. Now I'm assuming the other creatures weren't in the Blob, but both Demon Kings have Blob forms, so it's a little weird.
he never fought Mundus directly. We don't have a confirmation of that. We just know he was at war with him.
I'll read before the Nightmare later. The point is that the one that's attributed to conquering most of the demon world and the one that ended up getting sealed by fire
Yes,
was
that's my point. I agree with that. But he absorbs
the one that was fighting Mundus.
Yes, because he absorbs all the chaos and evil in the demon world. That's how he conquers it. He absorbs everything in the demon world. He literally becomes Void Mundus.
As long as you say this one isn't the one that fought Mundus, we'll be fine.
I will not call this one Argosax the Chaos. This is Despair Embodied. Anyone who says that otherwise is stupid. Right. You're stupid.
Cool. For the purpose of this video, like his point still stands. I just want to point out that Despair Embodied, this version, is vastly stronger than Mundus. Or if not vastly stronger, it is stronger than Mundus, depending on how you want to take some wording.
Also, Prime Mundus. The one in one would already lose so hard, but like Prime Mundus gets slapped in this case as well.
Yeah, because this one should be equal to Void Mundus, which is just a more powerful version of even Prime Mundus.
Also, yeah, Argosax, Blob Argosax, you could argue, could be. Despair Embodied would also slap Void Mundus because he has better feats as well.
Next versus matchup: Despair Embodied versus Urizen.
DMC2 takes the win, surprisingly.
As well, even in base.
Okay, so let's continue.
And this would be consistent.
How does he get the music in the background? Are we allowed to have music in the background from Devil May Cry?
I think it's just, remember, it's part of it's just his commentary, because most of the video is clearly just him putting scans and stuff on the screen.
Because if we can put Devil May Cry music in the background, I'll start doing that for the videos. I'll do that.
We got to do the jazz one. Like
your game Bury the Light boss version. That's how you'll be satisfied with.
We need like a jazz Bury the Light version, like one with Devil Trigger.
I'll start learning how to edit so that way you guys.
You gotta do one of those techno mixes things. Like hire a person.
hire like someone to do a fucking techno mix.
Hire a DJ. Hire a DJ.
A fucking DJ. I'm not made of money, woman.
Jeez.
With the games themselves, as Dante is always pretty much
we have fun here
himself and just joking around with his enemies, so it wouldn't really be too.
I'm gonna say this now. I'm a little annoyed he didn't bring up Void Mundus. I'm just gonna say it now. We don't have to really discuss that point. I'm just saying that if you're gonna bring up the DMC1 guidebook, you could have at least looked at the novel for the feats. Just saying.
And Five's novel as well, like.
He could
I know it's a little
Void
bit more.
It's pretty common knowledge that Void Mundus exists at this point.
Dude, that he has all this crazy
Are you hurt?
power.
Does that hurt your feelings?
It does not hurt my feelings.
How does
doesn't use it as he's just a jokester and likes to have
Also,
fun.
we're making good time. We're like almost 3 minutes through the video.
And how long are we actually in the actual recording right now? Oh, it's only been 13 minutes. Wow.
Yep.
This is great.
See, we're getting better.
Vergil's more likely to use his universal power since he has a character is not.
Okay, I gotta say this now, dude. Just go Uni Plus. Like, you can prove they affect space and time enough to where Uni Plus is perfectly valid. Like, just.
I don't know if he knows what Uni Plus is.
It's currently 8:15. Alright. So back to the matter at hand.
Not one to
But we'll find out.
Around with his opponents, if you will, and joke. He's actually very quick to one-shot and end them. In terms of speed, Dante should be casually lightning timer. That's a big component in the game, with enemies using lightning attacks as well as many devil arms themselves actually having lightning properties to them, with Dante even himself.
Okay, I gotta say this now. Lightning properties, Alistair, okay. Beowulf is not lightning. This is straight up light speed. This is straight up light.
Funny, because he has it highlighted here, where he's literally highlighted light 3 separate times.
There are other lightning weapons if you just want to say lightning speed, my dude. You could easily go with Navon. You could easily go with...
The plasmids.
The plasmids. Hey, the plasmids. No, that's not weapons. Oh, you can easily
Well,
go with fucking King Cerberus. Look, it's got lightning in
you
it.
could also just go with the plasmids, because it's confirmed in their description that Alistair doesn't work against them. Because
Well,
they
no.
literally have. Like, Alistair is confirmed to be the spirit of lightning, and it gives the possessor lightning speed.
Also,
And it says
Alistair
since they
may or
possess
may not
lightning.
make you way stronger than that, depending on how you want to take the DMC2 novel, but it seems like this person didn't read it, so I'm not going to waste too much time on that.
Alternate universe Trish over here, like, I have the power!
Oh, hang on a minute. It looks like he's bringing in diagrams for science and shit. This should be
Elves
fun.
actually having lightning properties to them, with Dante even reflecting a particle beam from Mundus, which, for those who are unaware, a particle beam is a stream of charged or neutral particles, in many cases moving near or at the speed of light. And even if you don't want to go with the whole particle beams argument, Dante
I do appreciate that he has a standard variation of particle beams. I feel like the only people who wouldn't have this like interpretation of particle beams are people who are just directly trying to not use particle beams.
should be relativistic
Good.
There, go ahead. I
at
don't have
least on
anything
top
to say.
of his devil trigger multipliers. Although there is no multipliers, you could simply make some assertions as he gets twice as strong from each game, with his devil triggers being a 2x amp on top of that, just to keep it very simple, in which you would eventually get him to FTL or faster than light very casually.
I gotta say this now. I understand why he says 2 times, because like it's just simple to keep it that way, but if it's 2 times, we get some consistency issues. If it's 2 times, it has to be a bit higher than at least 2 times. But I'm not gonna really beat on the. I'm not gonna beat that one up so much.
I'm just wondering where he got 2 times from.
Well, no,
Because
he's
2
just
times
saying,
isn't
like,
even several.
He's just saying he's just using it to like just put a number on there, like just like all right, let's not get too complicated with
Sure.
the hypotheticals. But for sure, it should be greater than 2 times. Otherwise, there's some weird situations in DMC.
So by DMC 5, he assumes they would be FTL.
Go off the particle beams argument.
Presumably.
We then enter DMC 5, in which Dante gets absolutely throttled in his devil trigger form, actually getting his rebellion smashed and broken into pieces by Urizen almost casually, in which Dante
What part? Almost casually. What do you mean? Urizen like putting no effort into that punch. That was a
Urizen
love
was
tap.
like... Urizen was like, Royal Guard? Hold my fucking fist real quick.
for about, I believe, a month in the context of the game with no food, no water, no shower. From there, he actually fuses with the power of the Sparta.
Okay, he's already leaving out a very big point here. Dante received human blood for the entirety of that month, so he was gaining power throughout that entire month. He's already skipped that. I want to make it clear that Sparta alone wasn't what made Dante that strong. He was already gaining amp throughout the month. Just gonna throw that one out there. Okay, I guess
Actually,
nothing to add there.
entering his sin trigger.
Yeah, I mean, he's fused with Sparta on top of that.
Yeah, no.
Sparta
like,
was the deciding factor.
Yeah, I'm just making it clear that, like, you know, Dante was gaining power throughout that month as well. Unfortunately, we can't really quantify blood all that much because we don't know where Urizen starts.
It's a massive amp.
In which he just absolutely throttles Urizen with Devil Sword Dante at his side. Urizen eats the Clyfoth fruit following this encounter, said to be the same fruit that Mundus used to become king of the underworld, if you would, in which Dante also throttles him in base, actually.
I gotta say this now, that whole King of the Underworld thing for Mundus, it's not really that big of a deal. It's just, we know it just gave Mundus a power amp. The fact of the matter is, again, like, Dante's already a vastly above people who were even stronger than like, Mundus at the height of his power.
Also, 2 things I gotta respond to here. I mean, it's not necessarily the same fruit. I mean, it is made from the same tree, but he didn't make it the same way. Mundus never, like, refrigerated it. If this guy has taken, like, the guidebooks and the novels, then I can bring in this information. The DMC5 art book does confirm that the reason why, like, King Cerberus is, like, above where or below where the fruit is. I don't really remember the geography of the...
technically above.
Okay, above. Well, I was gonna say, like, Dante drops down, but I don't trust that I'm correct in that because the geography of the Clyfoth is so weird.
Because we're at the bottom of the... No, we're at the upper edge of the Clyfoth tree.
You see why I'm thinking about it for 2 seconds? You're like, I made a terrible mistake. So basically, it's confirmed that Cerberus, like King Cerberus, freezes the fruit, like he cools it down, and it amplifies its power many, many times over. Trish also confirms this specifically, that its power can increase you like exponentially. So Mundus, since we don't have any confirmation of how he gets, like how he makes the fruit, we would assume he didn't make it correctly. Also because if that were true, he would have been a lot stronger than he was in his prime.
I mean,
But
it would be it'd be a little irrational to assume that, or not irrational. It'd be a little weird that if he made the food correctly, he still lost to Sparta.
well, because if Urizen had made the fruit incorrectly, it wouldn't have done anything for him. Because Dante was already sweeping him before he got the fruit. When he got the fruit, he still lost. But this kind of gets into the second point I want to correct here. Dante did not throttle him in base. Dante was exhausted after the end of that fight. That fight took everything he had. He still won, but he did not he didn't walk in and was just like bing, bada boom, we're fucking done. Like, no, no, no. Vergil literally is just like, hey, heal your wounds, get strong. After that, we'll settle the matter. Like, defeating you like this has no meaning. That's not a clean win. That's a, oh my god, that was the worst workout of all time. Let's not do that again. Just gotta point that out.
Fair enough. All right, let us continue.
You could make some assertions about the in-game fighting, however, because you can just royal guard and finesse enemies in various different
No, no, no. I know you can do that in gameplay, but come on, Dante's like basically fucking exhausted after this point. Let's not do that.
ways. The most reliable way to actually assess these characters and their strength is through the in-game cinematics. Following this, Vergil is revived, in which he finesses
He is correct about that.
Dante, noting how Dante's fatigued from his gauntlet running and previous exhaustion, and actually recommends that Dante grow strong before fighting him again. From this, Dante defeats Vergil's nightmares and then confronts Vergil again at the top of the Clyphot tree. It is here that Vergil and Dante go back and forth, with Vergil actually gaining the edge over Dante at the end of their fight, hence how the cinematic is triggered, which is consistent with Dante being more fatigued than Vergil, with Nero almost one-shotting him with his bitch slap, in which Vergil's actually able to endure a horrific ass beating by Nero, in which he also notes that he can still fight, but Dante also seems to have recovered. We actually can make the assertion here that they are relatively even, with Dante actually rivaling Vergil at the end with their cinematic fight, if you would. They're going back and forth, with the score actually even. And with Vergil actually getting dismantled by Nero, both would actually have been previously exhausted. So this is more indicative of how they actually are, with them being on par rather than Vergil gaining the edge because Dante's exhausted. Now, what's also interesting about Vergil is that his weapon, the Amata.
Okay, so I'm going to say this now. We don't know specifically when that cutscene occurs, but considering we see it after the Lady and Trish cutscene in the canon game, we would assume that what we're seeing is weeks after the events of Nero's fight. So Vergil's not fatigued in that cutscene. Vergil and Dante should be, if not perfectly healed up, they should not be suffering from the effects of the Nero incident anymore.
Yeah. They would also be vastly stronger than the Dante and Vergil at the end of DMC5 anyway, because they've been fighting non-stop. And even Dante recovering from previous fights, like his fights with like the Demon King Abigail, like boosted him from like that is the Dante I like to use for most of the power scaling in DMC, is like anime Dante, because he's flatly at Demon King Dante, like Demon King level, where he's like perfectly equal, like Argosax, Mundus, and Abigail in their primes. And he demonstrates this. But after the fight, he bleeds, recovers the rest of that blood, and then goes back to one-shotting demons. So
he bleeds, and then he basically becomes a god.
He bleeds, and they become thoughts. Like, that's how this works. Yeah, he bleeds, and then he starts one-shotting Demon Kings after that point. That was just as a result of him taking a little bit of blood from, like, a couple hits. This guy fought Vergil for, like, 26 minutes straight. Was probably getting stabbed dozens, if not hundreds of times at least. And I'm probably lowballing there, for being honest. And then they went to fight more in the demon world
for an unprecedented length of time, but in this case, they're fighting at full power with no one interrupting them. Granted, they are taking like breaks and they're stopping, but they're just fighting nonstop. All they're doing is fighting. So like they'd be way stronger as a result. They're also in the demon world, which is covered in demonic power. So they'd just be getting stronger every conceivable moment, you know.
Yeah.
So they would one-shot the previous versions of themselves. No question.
Well, I mean, Mangler's over here jumping now. I mean, it is logical to an extent, but it's just like we need some sort of we need to like. It would be nice if at some point they give us an example for how the blood boost works, so that way we can actually like try and like apply some logic to it. Unfortunately, all we know is that it is massive. So like, if someone gets human blood, just assume like, okay, they basically become fucking like the difference is like Super Saiyan 2 to 3. You know, just assume they're way stronger.
It's very, very large.
It's like Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God status. That's
yeah. It is. It's like hundreds, thousands. It's an insane amount.
Okay, this would be perfect. Like we could easily quantify blood to an extent if they just told us when Urizen was born. Is Urizen Eloangela level or is he Mundus level? Like give us the reference point here so we can do the rest. All right, so let's continue here.
Actually negs conventional durability as well, which is absolutely insane. This ability to ignore conventional durability is further cemented by the Yamato actually piercing through Nero's Devil Bringer, which was actually shown to be able to catch Dante's Rebellion despite Nero actually being far inferior to Dante at this point.
So Del did bring this up. He doesn't agree with this, but I'll point this out for the record. Again, another novel example in Deadly Fortuna. Apparently, it's stated that the Devil Bringer hits harder than Dante. I think that's fine because the Devil Bringer seems to just be Yamato in a fucking arm form. So I don't really see a problem with that, especially when you get to DMC5's territory. So it's really just that the Devil Bringer might be stronger than a casual Dante.
Overall, Vergil's just an absolute animal and a beast.
Is that it?
I was just gonna say
That it? Where's the durability? Where are the powers and abilities? Where's the
Oh yeah, I forgot this is a How Strong video. I thought
Where's the powers and abilities, dude? Okay, so you don't need durability, I guess, because we would all assume durability scales to the AP. Perfectly fine. Where's the powers and abilities?
Does Vergil just like his powers are just he has a sword?
Just Yamato. His power is the sword to
be reckoned with. Very short.
He doesn't even get summoned swords or teleporting. Jesus,
he's
been nerfed hard.
What he can do, what his hacks are, as well as where he kind of stacks up. Wait,
hang on. Let me go back here a little bit.
With very short.
Maybe I missed it.
Okay, hang on.
Kind of outlining some of his main scaling in terms of what he can do, what his hacks are.
Okay, so I want to say this for record. When I originally made How Powerful, this is what I wanted to make. Although, even back then, I did have powers and abilities. So, I think he spent a little much time talking narrative, and should have spent a little more time talking about the actual character themselves. It's a good video, it is. It's much better than my How Powerfuls on average. But, there's a lot of information missing here. You don't mention teleportation, you don't mention any of Vergil's new weapons, you don't mention the fact he has multiple forms of energy usage. Like, it's good. As a cursory glance, the fact that he at least gets him to uni gets him an A+ in my book. You know, like, hey, I'll give you the A for effort, no fucking problem. The video, again, quality is excellent as well, but, dude, you can at least mention someone towards teleportation. That would not be like, that would take like maybe 30 seconds. You don't have to go with everything, but come on, dude.
Gotta mention, while Yamato can negate durability, that's not what its power does. That's just what Vergil wants it to do.
I'm surprised he did not bring up the anti-feat of the Lady Rocket to like at least like disprove that or say like why this isn't valid.
Yeah. Also, he's wrong about FTL DMC.
Yeah, no. His speed scaling is wrong. His AP scaling, while I appreciate that's at least uni, it is wrong overall. But overall, like, it's not the worst one I've seen, and it's certainly not the worst scaling for DMC I've ever seen. I think it's pretty. I can understand.
It needs to be higher.
It is high. It should be higher overall, but it's not. It's not bad. It's not like anything like. At least I understand where he's coming from. Unlike what fucking planet level DMC people have been. Like, you know,
I still can't
I
understand
can
that.
connect the dots with this one. So yeah, with that
Fair
said,
enough.
thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time as always. Have a nice day. We'll see you guys on the next stream or video. I will link the man's video in the video down. I will link the man's video in the video down below. So if you want to check out his channel, it's good. Like, the editing is good. The video quality is certainly nice. Far better than my video quality for the most part. So absolutely, maybe check this guy out. Maybe if you like his content, give him a like or subscribe, because he is a bit on the smaller side. But overall, that's that's pretty good right there. Yeah, 662. Yeah, no. Thank you guys for your time as always, and have a nice day.